What if I told you that God and the devil made a wager for the souls of all mankind? No direct contact with humans, that would be the rule. Just influence. See who would win.
Demons stay in hell. Angels in heaven.
They call it the balance.
I need to see what you see.
You do this, there's no turning back. You see them. They see you. Understand?
Into the light I command thee. Into the light I command thee.
So I get it. Constantine is a weird pick. It's a weird pick. It's like strange that I would do it. I see a lot of people, like I watch a lot of these like internet or YouTube channels about movies, and like as an example of a studio sellout piece of shit, hollow, awful movie, they will cite Constantine as like the ultimate piece of shit.
Okay.
And I see problems in the movie, and I'm not going to sit here saying Constantine's amazing.
Yeah.
Because clearly Constantine is not amazing.
Yeah.
But it is not terrible.
What a great cast.
In fact, I think it's got an awesome cast, and it's got some really cool ideas in it.
Yeah.
It's certainly got like origin movie-itis in that it's got as much world building in it as it has storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So that slows things down.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got this weird 50-50 thing going on with the cast in that we have some real bright spots, but we got some really low lows. I think that guy Bush, whatever his name is, Gavin,
Gavin.
Let me look it up
it's
here.
one of his few movies.
Gavin Rossendale, I think is his name.
Something like that. I think he actively sucks in the movie. And I think, and it pains me to say...
Balthazar, he's bad.
And it pains me to say it, but this can be counted of one of the barely there Keanu performances. He just isn't exciting or engaging in the movie. But Tilda Swinton as a renegade Gabriel, or what's his face from Fargo?
When he shows up, Peter Stormare
as the devil, fucking killing it.
Did you like him in that?
I thought he was funny. I liked him as the devil.
I didn't have a lot of patience for that.
You know, Shia LaBeouf doing his Shia LaBeouf thing.
Yeah.
Pruitt Taylor, twitchy eyes from Identity, doing his twitchy eye thing. So like,
he was a bit much.
Rachel Weisz is good.
Rachel Weisz,
She anchors
good.
it a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
So
Digimon Hunsu, I thought was serviceable in what
Serviceable. Not a great role for him, but yeah.
not a lot for him to do.
No.
But just generally speaking, there's these strange peaks and valleys throughout the movie. But there's something a little crazy and off kilter about it, and I got a soft spot for it. I mean, I can't be enthusiastic about it. Like, it's not on my top 30 or any of our top 30 lists.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, in a world where Roland Emmerich continues to make shit movie after shit movie, why is it that everyone's so furious about Constantine? Like, I honestly thought it was like the blowback from the Matrix movies.
Mm-hmm.
The Matrix movies made money, but I have to think even the most hardcore people in denial at least would have to concede they were diminishing returns.
Yeah.
And Keanu was such hot shit because of the Matrix. It was like almost too big to fail, so he had to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was also the thing that the John Constantine character, especially in its original incarnation, in the comic book, kind of looks like Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of looks like that character was created to be played by Ewan McGregor with like 3 days of facial hair on his face. It was one of those things, they cast Keanu Reeves because he was the it boy of the moment, not because he was the right guy to play Constantine.
Yeah.
But in spite of all of this, like, it's comfort food for me. It's one of those movies like the Friday the 13th, like, when I'm sick and I'm, like, barely there for the movie, I can put it on and it will divert me from my discomfort.
Yeah.
Like, it's not great, but it doesn't suck the way people seem to say it sucks.
Yeah.
And that's all I really wanted to say.
Yeah.
You know?
This message was brought to you by James Lawrence Parsons.
It's not as sucky as people say. I mean, it
It
sucks.
is.
Yeah.
So that was worth mentioning in
I
our
actually
really
I
epic
I
show
saw
here.
this with a Constantine fan who had read the comic book series, so
Right.
I walked out to like a barrage of nasty-
Anger.
Oh,
Yeah, and a lot of
okay.
it was directed towards Keanu Reeves, but just the casting of him, because he is this sort of sarcastic British cockneyed a-hole
Yeah.
who is pansexual, who has no problem sleeping with boys, let alone women or demons.
But and
So-
he's sort of the affable asshole. He does dickish things, but he's supposed to be charming in a Ferris Bueller kind of way.
Yeah.
None of it comes off charming in this movie. He
Yeah.
just comes off like a cold dick.
Yeah, but
It-
especially when he's talking to somebody whose sister has, you know,
his indifference is terrible.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
So I can understand why at least a lot of the fans of the comics would be upset with the movie. I think it's engaging and strong enough. It plays like a very, very good supernatural episode in a lot of ways. And I think that's why time has been even more harsher to it, that we've seen this particular story, the Battle of Heaven and Hell, appearing on Earth so many times right now. It's sort of, the CW is famous for TV series based on this sort of world. But at the same time, this is not from Justin to Kelly or even like the Twilight movies. It's not that bad.
Interesting ideas. Like
Yeah,
the
it
way
just diverted, I think, from the original source material so much that it just brought a lot of ire from at least the geekdom community.
which
Sorry.
is important demographic for this movie to be successful. The geek.
It
The
was
geeks
a
need
little
to-
early before. Like, it was a little before its time in the way that the sort of geek culture was fully embraced
Yeah.
by Hollywood, right?
Yeah, I guess.
2002 was not like the Marvel Universe
Yeah.
wasn't a real deal yet. So
Yeah.
like,
I have to say, it does just start out pretty strong with the whole exorcism.
yeah.
I thought that's a great
That was
way.
an interesting.
Trapping the demon within the mirror,
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah.
It falling out of the window, but that demon arm just
Yeah.
hanging out of it,
Yeah.
kind of a cool image.
Yeah.
I liked the whole passage into hell thing where he has to put his feet in a bucket of water and
Yeah.
stare a cat in the eyes.
Yeah.
There's something very specific and very strange and kind of interesting about that.
Yeah.
The
like-
scene where he holds her underwater is
Yeah.
kind
We've
of
seen that
interesting.
before,
Yeah, we have, but
Yeah.
It's well done.
It's
the
also-
vision of hell, like the way those demons have no eyes or like all they have on them is mouths, basically.
Yeah.
The rest
And
of
you
them
can
is
see, like,
removed.
but did you
Part of
like
their brain.
the whole hell look? It
Um,
felt so.
It's a very CGI
Very
environment.
CGI.
But
Yeah.
I've watched Spawn. So after you see
Yeah.
the hell environment of Spawn, like, oh, this is fine.
See,
Yeah, I thought that part was.
I had
actually-
recently watched
exceptionally
Deconstructing
strong.
Harry,
Mm-hmm.
and Woody Allen pieced together Hell in that, and I much preferred his version of Hell to, which is indeed Hell, to this CGI thing.
Give it this. We haven't seen that version of hell before. I didn't think
Yeah,
so.
I thought it
Like,
was
I hadn't seen those
a
demons.
21st century Hollywoodized version.
It looks
of
like
it.
a post-nuclear blasted wasteland more
Yeah.
than it looks like hell.
Mhm.
But then these weird demon things show up. But again, these are these isolated moments. I was amused by the James Bond gadgetry while acknowledging how overtly silly that it was.
Yeah.
And like I would have been really impressed by the sprinkler system holy water thing, but I kind of felt like that was covered in other movies before.
Yeah.
I liked it though.
Well,
I mean,
Blade
yeah,
has something similar. In all
Yeah,
ways.
Blade does.
Blade,
That's right.
they're spraying blood, and
Yeah,
in
but-
this they're spraying holy water. but
Yeah.
yes,
But I,
What is the name of
There's
the
nothing
female
wrong.
actor from Kiss Kiss? Monaghan. What's her name?
Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah, she's got actually a small cameo in there, a theatrical cut. She has actually a larger role. There's some extra deleted scenes where her role is expanded.
Right.
So it's a little shout out to her. This is one of her earlier movies.
I like.
When is she in it?
She
Just trying to
shows
remember-
up. There's a shot of her at the end when they're with the battle with Gabriel, and then where Satan shows up. She's in that building initially when
Okay.
Keanu walks in and starts lighting literally a fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I loved seeing Tilda Swinton get punched in the face as an angel, a being that's never experienced pain before. So it's a really big over-the-top reaction on her, but it would be an interesting thing to approach.
Yeah.
You've literally never felt pain before, and that actually really fucking hurts. And you gotta try to retain your composure. But I picture her sitting in that pool and crying for a couple of hours before she gets brave enough to like. I thought that was really well played, you know.
Yeah.
But then there are other things like, did all of Constantine's sidekicks need to be killed off one at a time? Like, did all of them literally, like, we're going to introduce this guy, then he's going to give his piece of information, and then we're going to kill him.
Yeah.
And then we're going to introduce this guy.
Yeah.
And he's going to give his piece of information, and they're going to kill him.
Yeah.
And Shia LaBeouf is finally going to earn his place on his side, and then we're going to kill him. Like, it was just like...
Even though I kind of wanted him to be gone earlier.
I don't miss the character necessarily, but it just seemed lazy that, like... the entire supporting cast was introduced to be killed off. It's just kind of irritating to me.
But that's very much like the comic, though. Like a lot of the characters that helped John Constantine end up.
But if you're gonna build a world, leave somebody left. If you were gonna make a sequel, which they didn't, and I understand, and that's okay. But if you were gonna make a sequel, basically all you had was John Constantine. Or I guess the devil. So you weren't so big on the devil, hey?
No.
I thought he was delicious. I love that.
I love that actor. I mean,
he is over the top. I will give you that. But there was something about.
I think it lost patience with the movie at that point. I mean,
I love that he does the whole childish, clappy dance.
It's a thumbs down review, but it's not like thumbs way down. And I mean, like the venom that you had for the Matrix, I thought, we could be.
We're in trouble.
Are we going to be punching Keanu all over? This is maybe a lazy performance from him, but not as bad as.
I get the feeling like he just misread the character. He thought the character was kind of like dark and cool.
Dour.
But no, it's not like that at all. He just doesn't give a fuck anymore. He's dying, and he deals with crazy intangibles on a daily basis. Yeah. And if he steps on your toes, if he's a little bit of a drunken asshole, well, I got bigger fish to fry than being likable.
And I like he's chain smoking through the whole thing.
Again, very true to the
it's there are small moments here and there to like, some things to really like. Rachel Weisz was my favorite part of the movie.
She's always good, though.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's like when we're talking about Kate Blanchett or one of these people that can.
She might not always be in great movies, but she's not going to go half-assed.
Yeah, and she in a way plays two roles in this, and she gave me more hope for this movie. Swinton was fine. I mean, we just don't see her for great chunks of the film. She shows up, and I really wanted to like Peter Stormare in this more than I did. I don't know. It worked for me. I've seen so many different versions of the devil.
I thought he was delicious in his brief scenes.
It's one of these things where he's not a tormented devil. Like, this dude really likes being the devil. And I kind of appreciate that take on it. He's not insecure.
I don't know why I'm making a comparison to Deconstructing Harry, but Billy Crystal's Billy Crystal enjoys being the devil too in that, and so I can appreciate that.
I think at this point the devil would have to accept his fate and sort of enjoy it so much because he's.
And again, and this is true to the books. Every time he does a possession, he would basically, because hell will listen when the demon's being sent back, he would basically piss in Satan's face, and he would do it knowingly as a damned soul because he'd taken his own life. So, as far as he knows, his ticket is already bought and paid for. But in spite of this, he would shit talk the devil himself on a regular basis because that's the kind of shit he would do, right? Yeah. And again, I think Keanu Reeves thought he was doing it because he was cool. But no, it's not that. It's a different thing entirely.
I think what's frustrating is there's a very, very good movie in here.
Oh, yeah.
And it just wasn't realized.
Well, and this guy went on to do the Hunger Games movie.
Yeah, I recognized the director, and I was just looking through...
Which, once again, is sort of schizophrenic in its quality.
Well, that's sort of been, unfortunately, the story of his life. It's just almost, but not quite. But I do believe...
Red Sparrow, he also, that was...
Yeah, I haven't seen Red Sparrow. Yeah. But, I do believe that he's got a great movie in him. But most of the time, it's been almost, but not quite. Like, I almost think I Am Legend was really cool, but
Yeah.
not quite.
Yeah,
I watched it considering it for this list, but then it was
Will Smith is so good in that movie
There's
too.
good
Yeah.
stuff in it, but
Yeah.
overall it
it
just
kind
don't add
of
up.
towards the end falls apart a bit.
But I'm cheering for this guy. Again, it's there's something here. I
Yeah.
get that it's not fully realized,
Yeah.
but like in all of the decade reviews too, I mean we did The Town That Dreaded Sundown, which is a very 70s movie, but not a very good movie. In the 80s when we talked about The Lost Boys, it wasn't a great movie, but it was a very 80s movie. I do think that Constantine was a very 2002 movie.
It makes perfect sense.
This is
Yeah.
where we
Yeah.
were at in that
Yeah.
decade, and it's not a good example necessarily of the horror. It's not anywhere near the best of the horror movie, but everybody can relax a little bit about Constantine. It doesn't. It's diverting and fun and forgettable. It's not the worst thing that ever happened. Okay,
Yeah.
that's Boondock
No.
Saints.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about
No,
that?
no, that's pretty much
I'm
it.
glad you brought it into this so that we could just talk about something that's
Constantine.
totally different. It
Yeah.
didn't make anybody's list, but it's.
If
All
you
right.
want to like Constantine, I think you'll get something out of it. But
I-
if you want to pull
I
a
think-
thread, you'll win. If you
I think
fight this movie, you'll win.
I think I started with a negative attitude about it, and then I got into it. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. These actors are in this. There must be stuff to like," and so I found myself liking it more than I thought I was going to, and I cheering for it in some ways. Or it's like when they would take a misstep, it's like, shoot, you just don't do
Well,
that. Like it's
and
so
we're living-
close to being. Even just like a thumbs up type of review would be.
We're living in the
amazing
age
for
of
it.
John Wick now.
Yeah.
Keanu's big again, so maybe people will give it another day in court.
Yeah, I will say this. As a casual moviegoer or as a enthusiastic moviegoer, I think as a film, Constantine is definitely entertaining enough. I understand why the fans of the comics hate this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I get it and the liberties it takes. But it's by sure not a movie that deserves, I think, a lot of the hate that I see. And so I agree with you on that end.
I mean, it's not the film version of The Dark Tower.
No.
which
No,
is like,
no.
Why don't you just
This is
like,
not X versus Sever.
No.
This is not Baby Geniuses. This is not even Aragon. That
The Forgettable Dragon movie.
yeah,
Yeah,
like no,
it's Constantine.
it's
And
Constantine.
it's
Constantine.
alright.